Today our topic is key performance indicators in vendor management. So let's see the what is the vendor management, what is the KPIs, and what is the importance of KPIs in vendor management, and what are the some basic KPIs in vendor management. Okay, let's have a brief definition of vendor management. So, vendor management is a term that describes the processes organizations use to manage their suppliers, who are also known as vendors. So, this is basically a process through which we manage our suppliers. So, vendor management includes activities such as selecting vendors, negotiating contract, controlling cost, reducing vendor-related risks, ensuring service delivery, and evaluating vendors' performance. So see, these are some of the basic functions we perform in the vendor management. So let's also define what does we mean by key performance indicator. It is a measurable value that demonstrates how effectively a company is achieving key business objectives. Organizations using KPIs to evaluate their success at reaching the targets. So basically these are some of the benchmark, or some of the not benchmark but some of the factors we see that if we are achieving these, or we are going on the right direction to get the our targets. So these are called key performance indicators. So it is about the what are the indications of our performance within the organization or outside the organization with our other partners. So here we are going to discuss a little bit importance of vendor management. So vendor management is very important in a business because the relationship we establish and develop with our suppliers can have a powerful impact on both our procurement function as well as our ability to build value for the company and the organization overall bottom line. So why is important? Because it is helping us in a procurement function, is also help us add the value in our product or our services, and also ultimately helping us to improve our bottom line. By identifying, monitoring, and adjusting vendor management key performance indicators or KPIs, we can develop a rich data-driven approach to suppliers management focused on the high value, low risk, and strategic sourcing. So by having vendor management, and how we do the vendor management, by evaluating it like I explained in the previous slides. So we have a key performance indicators which we develop through data, or we measure them against the data what we have, and then we categorize our suppliers as a high value suppliers, or low risk, or who are our strategic suppliers. Then how we measure our KPIs. So evaluating vendors effectively is greatly simplified by using the supplier scorecard. So what we do, we use a scorecards for each supplier. So we will find out that how they score at different factors or different things, and we put make a list of our priorities, or list of our things which we are required. When clearly defined and well monitored, this scorecard allows you to communicate your expectation and evaluation method to the vendors from day one. So you also share this scorecard with your vendor, so that they are going to be judged, are going to be tested, are going to be evaluated on these following factors. So by developing a scorecard, we can quickly have a comprehensive understanding of a vendor's performance regarding his ability to fulfill the order on time, ability to fill order accurately, ability to provide goods of adequate probably superior quality, and then ability to comply with our company's terms and condition, and then how they're complying with the legal, manufacturing or safety requirement or compliances, and then what is their competitive pricing structure and potential change, and how stable their pricing structure is, then strategic opportunity if any available during the business. So what kind of we have a strategic opportunity with this with the suppliers, which could help our business to expand or to grow. So then we also evaluate our vendor through this scorecard, that is it a low risk or high risk vendor. So this is the basically few things we have see. This is the things we come up after checking the KPIs and making a scorecard for each and every supplier. So vendor management KPIs are those matter most to the businesses, may not be same as those prioritized by your competition or other people. So like I already told you, it is your priority, the which factor or which thing is more important for you. Price is more important, quality is more important, on time is more important, long term is is more important. So these all things are your priorities, and different businesses have different priorities. For example, probably we will find that most our truly valuable metrics are focused on key areas of vendor like capacity, performance and compliances. So these are different. It depends on the what is the objective of that business, is what is their mission or what is their main business strategy is. Vendor management KPIs are the following we check about the quality, risk assessment, delivery, cost saving and customer service, and then expansion and innovation. So these are the few things upon which we test the performance of our vendor or supplier. Okay, the first one is quality. Are the materials of the proper grade or value for use in the production? So what we check basically that our vendor is using proper value or the grades material. How often is there an issue with the inferior material or simply the wrong materials are being sent? So we mark that how many times we have quality issues with this vendor. The next one is the risk assessment. In this we see that the material produced or the product produced is compliance with the applicable laws, or the material is ethically sourced to minimize risk of damage to reputation. So there, and also see their suppliers, our suppliers are and our suppliers are working ethically, and like child labor or this kind of things. We have to see that later on we don't have any issue of our issue with our product. Next is the delivery time. So do shipments arrive intact and on time? So we will check that how percentage of these deliveries we are receiving on time, and they are in the proper shape or intact. They are not like scattered or broken. Does the vendor have the capacity to scale for larger and emergency orders? So we also see that how can we expand the capacity of the vendors if they have any capacity like financial or technical now, that for fulfill our emergency orders as well. So this is another KPI of our vendor. How often are the material loss, delay or damage? So it is also related to our delivery. So these are the few more things like damage, delayed or lost. Another KPI of vendor management is cost saving, which is very important. So how often that vendor raise the prices though, so we have to be very careful that how stable their prices are, so because it also affects our prices as well. Can economy of scale be leveraged to optimize pricing for material? So can we use their economy of scale to optimize our pricing or our cost, the material we are buying from them? Then can contract management be employed to negotiate better terms on price or increase service equality? So how we can negotiate with them to save money or with this during the contract management negotiation. Then the next KPI is customer service. if and when there is a problem, how quickly and completely it is be resolved. So we check our or we evaluate our vendor or supplier that if there is any issue or problem, so how quickly and complete it has been resolved, how effectively does the vendor communicate, what was their behavior, what was their attitude, how they communicated during this problem time. So how are their complaints handled, including escalation, intense conflicts are as required. So even how they handled our complaints, even sometimes these complaints were turned into intense conflicts, so how they have handled it. So the next one is the expansion and innovation. Like, does the vendor follow continuous improvement process in their production or not? So if they have some improvement going on in their production or not. Does the vendor supply additional strategic value by suggesting new or different material to reduce cost, improve quality, or expand feature, or making some new products and going to something in the new feature mean the same product have extra features. So this is very important, because especially in our strategic partnership with our supplier, it is very important that they will come with the additional suggesting us the new value for our products, or advising us how to be, and at the same time they will help us to innovate our product or our services. These are the few of the KPIs for vendor management. So end of the this lecture, effective supplier management does not happen overnight. So keep in your mind that it is not overnight phenomena. So it may not happen at all without the judicious or sensible use of KPIs. Unless you are not using your KPIs very judicious or sensible, maybe you will not achieve your objective. Engaging with your supply chain and taking the time to develop and implement the key performance indicators that matter most to success of business is essential, but it does not have to be difficult. So don't make your KPIs very complex and difficult that you have issue internally as well as externally. So they are important, but keep them simple. Don't be afraid to keep score or harness the power of technology to ensure that you are being thorough and fair. So don't get afraid of that. Maybe you will get you will give low score or high score, but use the technology and make be thorough and fair. And I will add that be more consistent with your KPIs measurement. Your scorecard or your scoring should be very fair, thorough, and you can use the technology and as well as be more consistent. Put your vendor to the test and start building a strong strategic supply chain that keeps cost low and value high. So by doing this, you will be when you are putting your vendor into test, you will start building a strong strategic supply chain of yours, which we become more efficient, high value, and effective. So this was our lecture today. If you have any question, please let me know. Thank you.